Hello, and welcome to our African American and Black History Month video series, where we will be highlighting the achievements of our fellow African American innovators in STEAM throughout U.S. history. I'm Lawrence, a librarian from LA County Library. Today, I'll be talking about Jerry Lawson, who is credited as the lead engineer of the team that developed the Fairchild Channel F, the first video game console that utilized swappable, cartridge-based games. This design revolutionized the game industry and set the stage for cartridge-based consoles that are still in use today. His achievements have led to some describing him as the father of modern gaming. Now, Jared Lawson was born in 1940 in Queens, New York. His interest in science began when he was very young, due in part to his family background. His grandfather was a physicist, and his father encouraged him to read and experiment. And he was making walkie-talkies and repairing TVs by the time he was a teenager. After attending Queens College and City College of New York, Lawson started his computer engineering career with various positions at Grumman Aircraft, Federal Electric, and PRD Electronics. However, he found the setting for some of his greatest achievements when he was hired at a San Francisco-based electronics company, Fairchild Semiconductor, in 1970. Now, Lawson started at Fairchild as a freelance engineer, a new position that mixed marketing and engineering by having engineers go in the field to help customers with designs. In response to customer perception of Fairchild support as being unhelpful, Lawson came up with the innovative idea to take Fairchild to the customer. He took a large customized van and outfitted the van with the latest Fairchild product demos and literature, which Lawson then used to engage with Fairchild customers and do outreach. Sort of like how the LA County Library uses its Makermobiles, which operate along the same lines by doing STEAM programs and outreach throughout LA County. The program was such a success at Fairchild that they had Lawson design and build a bigger and better van for engaging with customers. Now, Lawson's involvement in video game development at Fairchild started with his interest in coin-op arcade games, which he created in his garage as a side hobby. After Fairchild found out, they asked him if he was interested in making gaming systems for the company, to which Lawson agreed. Fairchild then created their video game division, with Lawson as the director of engineering and marketing. Now, the first generation video game consoles that were already out at this point, in the early 1970s, were all machines with built-in games. There was no way to expand a game collection other than buying another system. The technology for game cartridges had recently been invented by Wallace Kirshner and Lawrence Haskell of Alpex Corporation, but it had not yet been implemented in a mass consumer product. Fairchild licensed the cartridge technology from Alpex, and Lawson and his team were given the task of turning that newly developed technology into a consumer-ready product. As Director of Engineering and Marketing, Lawson was responsible for implementing the new cartridge system and also for how the cartridges were made and what games were created for that system. The team faced a number of challenges with the pluggable concept, as no consumer product to that point had the capability of plugging in memory devices in mass quantity. Lawson and the team, which included engineer Ron Smith and designer Nick Talesfur, took inspiration from 8-track cartridges to develop a durable, consumer-friendly cartridge and created the first swappable cartridge video game console, the Fairchild Channel F. While the Fairchild Channel F was eventually superseded by more popular consoles, Lawson's legacy influenced game console development by providing the template for many cartridge-based platforms in the industry, including the Atari 2600, Nintendo, and more. While cartridge-based systems were the standard for many years, they have been replaced by consoles using discs, and more recently, digital downloads, such as the PS5 and the Xbox One X. However, the legacy of game cartridges lives on with the Nintendo Switch as the only modern mainstream console continuing to use this reliable and durable technology. It's also interesting to note that Lawson was part of the Homebrew Computer Club, a gathering of computer enthusiasts who met at Stanford in the 70s and 80s. Lawson was one of the few, perhaps the only, African American present. Other members also included a young Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, whom Lawson actually interviewed for an engineering job at Fairchild. Wozniak didn't get the job, but it all worked out as he eventually went on to co-found a company called Apple with Steve Jobs. As a computer engineer, Jerry Lawson had to be a man of many talents. Computer engineering is a blend of both computer science and electronic engineering, which explores how software and hardware interact, and the best way to integrate them together to create something better than the sum of its parts, like Lawson did with the Fairchild Channel F system. Today, there are two main focus areas in the field: hardware and software. Computer hardware engineers are involved in designing microcontrollers, microprocessors, and generally physical circuitry and components. A report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics places the 10-year estimated job growth of hardware engineers from 2019 to 2029 at around 2%, a bit below average compared with other occupations. Now, on the other hand, you have computer software engineers who focus more on coding and designing computer applications. As the digital world becomes increasingly integrated with mainstream society and concerns such as cybersecurity arise, software engineers and developers are in increasingly high demand. This is reflected in the labor statistics estimates, which predicts an above-average 22% job growth for computer software engineers from 2019 to 2029. If you're interested in exploring computer coding, which is an important skill in computer engineering, check out our activity, Introduction to Programming with Python. Python is a versatile coding language created in 1991 that is widely used in many different fields and applications today, including machine learning, web development, game development, and robotics. Our activity will get you started with the basics, including how to download Python itself, a code editor for Python, and give you pointers for more in-depth exploration of the code. Now, to access our activity, please follow the link, which will also be provided in the captions. And that concludes our video. I hope you had an enjoyable time. If you are interested in more of our videos and programs, please visit us at lacountylibrary.org. Until next time, thank you.